UFC Fight Night 218, Lewis versus Spivak, is actually on later tonight. I'm kind of posting this shit a bit late compared to my usual schedule. But yeah, we have a decent card if you're a real fight fan, real UFC fan, hardcore. But if you're not, it's probably going to be kind of lame. Let's just jump right into the flyweight division. We got Tatsuro Taira taking on Jesus Aguilar. I'm going to go with Tatsuro Taira. I'm going to go by a submission or just a 30-27 decision. You know, Tatsuro Taira is just one of those upcoming prospects that you need to pay attention to, and I'm really high on him, so I think that he can get it done. Like I said, I'm going to go through these cards. I'm going to go through these predictions pretty quick today compared to my other cards because the card is on later tonight. So let's get on right to the next bout in middleweight. Union Park taking on Denis Tiuliulin. This card's going to be difficult for me to pronounce a lot of the names. I'm going to go with Park by a decision, probably losing the first round or losing the second round, but winning 2 of the rounds overall. If I can get it done, he has a stronger strength of schedule in the UFC. Denis Tiuliulin is coming off of a win, but it didn't really seem like he was all that in it for that win in the first place. Moving on, we've got Ji Yeon Kim taking on Mandy Bohm. Mandy Bohm has lost to fighters that I don't think Ji Yeon Kim would lose to. Both these women are on a losing streak. Ji Yeon Kim is on worse of a losing streak, but it's to people that I would expect it from, if that makes sense. Closer fights and whatnot. Fights that could even go her way, some would argue. So I'm going to go with Kim. I'm going to go by a decision, winning most of the rounds. Moving on, we've got Seung-guk Choi taking on Hyun-sung Park. Park seems like somebody that the UFC wants to push heavily. He's really good too, I'm not going to lie. This is the finale of the road to the UFC Singapore for the flyweight division. So I'm going to go with Park. I just feel like he can get it done. He has slick grappling, decent striking, 7-0. I don't know, I just trust him. I trust him more than I trust Choi. Moving on into the bantamweight division, we've got Toshiomi Kazama taking on Rinya Nakamura. This one is tough for me. I'm leaning towards Rinya Nakamura. Yeah, fuck. I'm just going to have to go with Rinya Nakamura. See, a lot of these are like a shot in the dark because these fighters are debuting in the UFC. They've only really fought in these road to UFC bouts for the UFC other than this, and you can't really judge the competition that strongly. Moving on up the card into the featherweight division, we've got Jeong Yeong taking on Yi Zha or Yi. I don't even know, man. But this one is tough. Yi Zha is he has a lot more fights. He's 21-3. Jeong Yeong is 9-1, but for some reason I want to pick him. He just looked like a lot. He looked a level above most of the competition I saw. So I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna pick Lee by a finish, say a TKO. Moving on up into the lightweight division, we've got Jeka Jeka. Fuck, I'm sorry, I'm butchering that one. Saragih, I don't even know. And Anshul Jubli, an Indian fighter. You don't really see many of those these days. I'm gonna go with Anshul Jubli by a finish. I hope it's exciting. Again, I'm sorry these aren't too in depth. It's really just a shot in the dark today. But moving on into the main card, we've got Kinoshita Yasaku Kinoshita taking on Adam Fugitt. I'm gonna go with Kinoshita. Fugitt could get it done. It's a risky pick, I guess, but I'm gonna go with Kinoshita by a finish, knockout. He has hands, man. Next up, we have the Korean Superboy Doo-ho Choi taking on Kyle Nelson. This is Doo-ho Choi's first fight back since like 2019, I believe. But I think that he has way more tools than Kyle Nelson. I'm gonna go Doo-ho Choi by a knockout. Honestly, fuck it. I'm gonna roll with picking knockouts. I just feel like Nelson is chinny, and Doo-ho Choi, if he comes in here refreshed, he can get it done. Moving on into the heavyweight division, we've got Marcin Tybura taking on Blagoy Ivanov. Blagoy used to be dope in this division. You know, he's 19-4, surprisingly enough. That's a really solid record. But he's just kind of a punching bag in heavyweight now. That like a tough good grappling punching bag, of course. But Marcin Tybura is younger. He has good grappling himself. He has better punching power, better striking technique, better wins. I'm going to go with Marcin Tybura by decision. Moving on, we've got Da-un Young taking on, or Young. Fuck, I don't know how to pronounce these dudes' names. I'm sorry, bro. I'm butchering this shit. But we got Young Da-un or Da-un Young taking on Devin Clark. I'm going to go with Da-un Young. You know, he's coming off of that quick KO loss to Dustin Jacoby. But he got caught, and I think that can happen. He's still a 15-3 fighter, and Devin Clark is just not doing so hot these days. Moving on to our main event of the evening. We've got Derrick Lewis versus Sergey Spivak. Sergey Spivak. I can't do that Tom Aspinall impression as good as Guru and some other influencers, but damn, I wish I could. This one is fucking risky, dude. It's a Derrick Lewis fight. I have a horrible time predicting these. He's just such a hard fighter to predict against because he has that one-shot knockout power. He doesn't seem to lose to wrestlers. Like, he'll be losing the whole time, and then boom, catch him. The way you have to beat Derrick Lewis is just by beating his ass on the feet, it feels like. And I don't know if Sergey's going to be able to do that. I just feel like if he tries to trade with Derrick Lewis, it's going to be all bad. I have a 2-2 or 2-0 record this year in the main events for picking UFC fights, and I don't want to lose that. I don't want to jeopardize that. I'm on a roll right now. I hope I can carry this momentum. I'm going to go with Derrick Lewis as an underdog pick. It's risky, but fuck it. This whole card is a risk for me. This could either go really well for my record this year or really bad. We'll see. But if you fuck with what I'm doing here, subscribe, like, all that, comment, give me your opinions. If you don't fuck with it, comment and tell me why. I don't really give a fuck. And again, I'm sorry for posting this a little bit late, but I don't know. I was just lagging it this week. I'm lucky that the card starts super late tonight, so I'll still be able to get this out before the card's out. But yeah, I'll catch y'all.